Irrigation in West Africa. The seasonal variation in rainfall variability in the dry regions of West Africa has for centuries led people to develop means of achieving a reliable access to water throughout the year. Naturally, this is focused on sites which actually retain the water throughout the dry season, so groundwater reserves or permanent lakes, which occasionally can be found in the region, and exploit the water from there through various systems of lifting the water and applying it to the fields. On this small scale, it is possible at small population densities to achieve some level of food security via water security. But since independence of many of the nations in the 60s, there have been much grander schemes of irrigation, particularly focusing on the two great rivers in the region, the Senegal and the River Niger, or the Niger River. And with the optimism immediately after independence in the 60s, and also the remains of the colonial input, there was a great desire to build large-scale schemes to dam these rivers, to hold back the water, to make it available throughout the year, so that certain regions could become the breadbasket, like the inland delta of the Niger, or along the Senegal Valley in northern Senegal. Now, the various problems with it. Water is a key resource for not only agriculture, it's a grazing resource, important for livestock production, to water animals, and also as a fishing resource. And these big schemes, and they were big, and there was a lot of money which was made available, partly due to the climate of optimism that existed at the time. A lot of money was invested into these schemes. But looking at them now, the people who have benefited from them and the actual downstream effects, whether they match the development money put in the first place and whether they have achieved their goals, is very questionable. With the high temperatures in the region, the irrigation water, a lot of it is lost through evaporation. Water use is particularly inefficient. I think something on the order of 9 litres is lost for every 1 litre of water that arrives at the plant. And with the evaporation, salts in the soil are brought up to the surface, salinising the soil and making future production difficult, if not impossible. But beyond those technical constraints and inefficiencies, there are other problems as well. Forms of labour organisation had to be changed to maximise a crop such as rice, which is in some regions a new crop to be grown, though there is many thoughts that rice originated in the Niger, inland delta of the Niger, wild rice. But growing it on these mass irrigated farms with plots laid out and the need for credit to get fertilisers and the continuous cropping required year in, year out, totally alters the production. But the alterations it causes go beyond just the production. The health environment changes. More water, more mosquitoes, more malaria. With the water, there's schistosomiasis, or bilharzia as it's also known, through the snails in the water. But what the valley lands were used for in the past, they were the water which came down these rivers after the rains, the flood that it caused. The traditional way of utilising that excess water was, as the flood receded, they'd plant in the banks or the floodplain. So as the water and the soil held the water, clay soils in the valley bottom, and as the water retreats, the soil holds the moisture, and gradually it dries out. But there's at least an opportunity to exploit that water over a period. But those areas are also key areas for grazing. But the sudden displacement brought on by these large scales along the Senegal River and the Niger have disenfranchised a lot of people. People have come in from outside, from the cities, from wealthy areas, and bought the land and changed the people's access to these resources. The people are now reliant on credit and the fertilizers. The whole means of production is changed. To bring this discussion to an end, perhaps we should look beyond the simple equation that there's not enough food because there's not enough water, therefore we need water, and that we have to consider that providing that resource in such a way as irrigation, large-scale irrigation, will bring a lot of changes, and that they really need to be thought through a lot more before being implemented, and then question the wisdom of actually going for such large scales. I mean, if you accounted for everything, is there a positive balance brought about by this money? That's an important question.